All right, day 5, which means it is the first day of week 2. Got the whiteboard here as usual. I have realized that, in filming all this and trying to give as much insight into how I'm training during this 8-week lean muscle building focused training cycle, that the videos are maybe a smidge long, so probably won't show you every set of every piece of the workout, just to keep it a little more concise. So just wanted to throw that info out on the front end. Yeah, we've got a good one. Obviously, as usual, I have done my hair up, cleaned up. Of course, that is not the case. I usually hit this in the morning before I do my other crap. Okay, we've got seated single arm dumbbell presses. That's overhead pressing. So one arm right over to the other, hit the other side, rest 90 seconds, and then we're doing a single leg wall assisted deadlifts. The single leg variation where you're actually just balancing on one leg is excellent, but I find that this actually gets me more hamstring, glute, and spinal erector tension, which is what I want today. And then to prep for that, we've got glute bridge skull crushers, glute bridge reaches. So one is tricep focused. Even though you're in this glute bridge position, you're getting tension through the hamstrings and glutes and everything. It's the focus is tricep tension, and then we're leading that right into, since you're in that position, into an actual active repetition of hips down, hips up as you reach and extend behind you. Tall kneeling Arnold presses, alternating sides, and contralateral dumbbell kickstand deadlifts, just to get us prepped for those wall-assisted single leg deadlifts. All right, so that's the prep work. The main superset is the seated presses and the wall-assisted deadlifts, and then we've got this finisher. I have arbitrarily named it 12s, although maybe it's not arbitrary. All the reps, it's 12 reps per exercise, and it's 8 rounds, 85 to 90% effort. Remember, we never want to go overboard. So 85 to 90% effort, and that's how you finish it. That's not how you start it, right? I usually start at like 65% effort, but the second round that sneaks up to 70, 73, 76, 82 maybe, and then by the time you're done, you're in that perfect, 85 to 90% effort range. And that's going to be 8 rounds, 12 push-ups, 12 alternating dumbbell snatches, and then 12 straight leg sit-ups. So just about 100 reps per exercise, and that'll be a great way to finish it off. I'm giving myself a 20-minute time cap. We'll see how I'm feeling. I think that should be enough. That's about 2.5 minutes per round. So if I pace things out appropriately, should be all good. And yeah, that's the deal. That's the deal. Feeling pretty fresh. I can't say I had the greatest weekend of nutrition. I'm definitely a sugar person, so when the cravings happen, they happen. Good effort last week throughout, and I think I might have just needed some sort of refeed, and I favored the sugar. But still feeling like the progression is there. I can get nice and lean over the next 8 weeks, or 7 weeks now that we have 1 week under the belt. And with that, let's get into the fitness. So I've already hit 2 sets of my prep work. Again, like I said in the little intro, I'm going to spare you some of the sets so that I can make this a little bit more efficient, a little more concise as far as a video is concerned. I'm starting with dumbbell glute bridge skull crushers. This is going to prep my overhead press, even though this isn't an overhead position, right? This is a horizontal pressing position. I'm loading up the triceps. Really important for my pressing. 10 high quality reps here. And I stayed the same with the weight from the first set and second set. This isn't, we're just relying on the triceps, so this isn't a move where I'm going to be increasing a ton of weight. This isn't like the bending that I'm doing in just a second, where I have increased the weight. These are 20 pounds just staying there, but the quality feels better. My hips are getting a little higher on the glute bridge. So you're not always just increasing weight. Quality of the tension, of the range of motion, those are important things to factor in. But with that, let's just go right through this, similar to the pace I'm going through when I'm not talking. The alternating glute bridge reach. So hips lift, I roll to my shoulder, and reaching overhead. Or excuse me, reaching across my body. Rotating through the hips slightly and extending through the hips to get that reach, to reach as far as I can. Loading up the hamstrings and glutes in a different position than a traditional bending pattern, but still really important for preparing myself for those wall-assisted single leg deadlifts that are coming up in just a moment. Really trying to extend and reach. There's some, nice rotation happening, some, oblique tension taking place. And that's going to really not just prepare me with regard to tension, contractions, going for about 16 reps there. Might have missed that because I was talking, but not just, with regard to tension through hamstrings and glutes. There's also that aspect of, when people are talking about like bulletproofing, making sure I'm in a good place as far as I'm not going into something cold. I'm really focusing on these muscles specifically. Of course, the bending pattern is going to do that too, but it's going to make sure that I'm staying safe because I've created tension in the primary movers that I'll be using in my strength superset. Moving right along, I'm hitting 16 alternating Arnold presses. Same thing, staying light with the weight. This is high volume. And looking for great quality. This is more about that overhead position than anything else. $15, $16. I know that my seated overhead presses aren't going to be the heaviest, so there's no need to burn that out. Just make sure my quality is high and that the reps are going to look good, feel good, all that stuff. So contralateral dumbbell kickstand deadlifts. Kickstand position, going for 12 reps. Missed the floor on that one. I'll give myself it though nonetheless. 7. Okay. Making sure I'm still on this freaking camera. It's recording. Before I go over to the other set, or the other side, I'll just say, if you're wondering, well, you'll see in a second, I'm gonna go body weight to open this strength superset. Why would I go weighted if I'm going to prep for body weight? This is a really unique bending pattern that can create a lot of tension with just your body weight. This is a different setup because my foot will be back here on this variation. It's going to make the tension more intense on the working leg. So this is an easier pattern. So I want to load it up so that, again, I'm really well prepared to take the volume and the tension that's going to come from this variation. Let's get the other side really quick, and then we'll move right into the strength superset. We're actually starting with the presses, so I should say back there. Rate of contraction a little faster than maybe other bending contexts. That's because the rate of contraction is going to be a little bit more since I'm using body weight and going for volume. I'm calling this 8, 9, 12 right there. I'll leave leave this out. This is where I'm gonna start on the presses. I will see you all on the strength superset, set 1. First set of these seated overhead presses. That's how we're starting the strength superset. Just put this here for 1 second because I think it's important to explain. I'm starting at 40 pounds for my, for the overhead presses. The reason is I'm getting 12 reps, and this might not be the heaviest I can go on any overhead press, but for the context, it's really important to remember I'm resting for just 90 seconds. That's not a lot of time to rest, and then I'm gonna get these single leg wall-assisted deadlifts, which are also gonna be taxing, and then I'm only gonna have 90 seconds to come back. So you can say to yourself, well, that's a decent amount of time in between your presses, but there's going to be this aspect of fatigue. So even though it's lower body, it's still cumulative fatigue. The heart rate's still gonna go up. And again, if I push the weight too hard on the first, second, or third set, I'm going to be desperate for more rest, but I don't have it. I wanna stick to the 90 seconds. So then those are gonna get sloppy. Then these are gonna get sloppier. And by the end of it, I'll have this power drop off and I won't feel good for the finisher, or I'll slug through it. And then I'll have this higher chance of having a tweak in the next session or 2 sessions from now. It's not always so obvious that this is gonna lead to an injury or a tweak or whatever, but it's really important that that is how it works. You go too hard on a session, and then a few sessions later, oh man, I'm not feeling good, but you try to push through it because you're not, banking on the consistency of your efforts. So pulling back a little bit is really important. So with that, I'm gonna try to get 12 high quality reps. The bench is rocking a little bit. I think I'll be okay. 12 high quality reps on each arm, and we'll see how these go. I will probably stay there for the entire superset. I think that was a really high effort, but I've got 4 sets after this. And again, I don't want these to be wonky reps. I want the quality to stay really high throughout. And you'll see set 5. I'll skip the middle sets, but you'll see set 5 and you'll be the judge of, did I do a good job of that? So rate of contraction is a bit quick. There's different situations where I might want to control the eccentric or hold at the top for an extra second. I think 12 reps is plenty of volume. I think the control is good enough based on the context. Just want to make sure I got my correct amount of rest period going here. And yeah, that's super important to remember the context. Always remember the context. And again, I've got almost 100 push-ups on the back end of this. So what's the point of absolutely eviscerating myself on the strength work when I know I kind of have this mixed modal resistance piece on the back end? So with that, I'll see you on set 1 of the single leg wall-assisted single leg deadlifts. And then we'll skip the middle sets and you can be the judge of, did I keep all of my reps, similar quality throughout the entire strength superset? I will see you on the deadlifts. The 90 seconds of rest feels pretty good right now. Gets me to a good place. Heart rate's in a good place, all that stuff. And I still want to recognize that, well, I know that in the 4th and 5th set that might not be the case. So I want to prep for that, even though it feels good right now. Single leg wall-assisted deadlifts. I want my knees in line with each other just like they would be on a standard deadlift. Because of this angle, because of how I will have to push back to maintain that balance, I get some really incredible, unique tension for a body weight variation. So that's why I'm sticking with body weight. This is also high volume. So just keep that in mind again. That's why I'm approaching things the way I am. I don't want to slam this with a bunch of weight. I want to see if I can go up, you know, in resistance based on how I'm feeling on the second and third set. So let's go ahead and bang these out at high quality. Finding my balance in this first set. And even though this leg is technically fresh, because of the bending, you're getting this fatigue from that first leg. So there's always this residual effect, right? Yes, these are the primary movers when I've got the right leg planted, but that doesn't mean this isn't getting worked. So by the time you move over to that other leg, it's like, oh, the spinal erectors, you know, they're getting a little fatigued. Great first set. You know, this is one where I'm going to stay body weight, and I'll see, maybe I'll increase on set 3 or 4, right? I might not do that right away. So I can really see the first set isn't always a great indicator. Yeah, most of us feel pretty good, pretty fresh on set 1. Let me stay there and see if I really think I can maintain that, or if it really does feel like that's not going to be heavy enough, fast enough, enough reps, depending on, again, the context, what you're doing. So that's what I'll do in the second set. You're not going to see the middle rounds, but you'll get to gauge, did I keep the quality in a great place from set 1 to set 5, based on the fact that you're going to see 1 and you're going to see 5. So the weight will probably stay the same on those presses. This might go up to maybe 20, 30 pounds max. And yeah, maybe that'll increase to 45 pounds or 50, depending on how I'm feeling. But this is eating away at my rest period. So with that, I'm going to get into set 2, and I will see you all on set 5. We'll see if I keep this in a good place. Already on my 5th set. I think because I kept the weight in a good place, I ended up not going up in resistance on the wall assisted deadlifts. Because of that, I've been able to work through this really efficiently. So this has only really been an 18-minute superset up to this point, and a ton of volume has been done. So let's see, is the quality the same or extremely similar as set 1, 12 high quality reps. I think pretty solid. The video will tell the truth, but I feel good with that effort. I feel like it's pretty damn similar to my first set. Same thing, I think the quality was really good. You know, there's always gonna be that thing in the back of your mind that says like, oh, I could have gotten like 5 extra pounds, 10 extra pounds. Again, if you're thinking about consistency, okay, I've got push-ups. I've got almost 100 push-ups as inside of my finisher. So what's the point of squeezing out those extra 5 pounds, you know, on an exercise for your last set, if it is going to, you know, bring you past that point? It's a fine line. So really important too, if you're feeling good, it's such a bad message inside of the fitness industry. Like, you gotta be ruined. Dig deeper, go harder. It's total BS, right? If you're feeling good, you're like, ooh, I left a little on the table. That's something you want to get used to. It took a while for me to leave the gym and go, you know, turn back almost as I was, you know, leaving, you know, opening the door like, I could have done a little more. It doesn't matter. You'll be back tomorrow. It's that idea. If 100% is here and you stay here, you know, right underneath your entire fitness career, you're in a great place. And then, yeah, once in a blue moon, you want to pump it, you want to push it. Maybe on that Friday before a big weekend rest, go for it. But staying at that 100% or going above it is a bad idea if you're trying to stay consistent and you're trying to get great results. So anyways, I'll leave it there. That's about my time. I will see you in just a second on set 5 of the wall-assisted single leg deadlifts. Okay, last set here of these wall-assisted single leg deadlifts. Is the quality going to be the very same as set 1? Let's see. Nasty business. I think those were pretty solid. You know, the balance on the first set is like you're, you know, getting your feet wet. And then on the last set, it's usually, okay, some fatigue is setting in. For me, it's really that upper portion of your glute, base of your spinal erector that can really get a nice dose of tension. So for me, no need to, just like the presses, no need to increase the weight. I got almost 100 dumbbell snatches. I'll be bending with weight. So no need to go wild on this. And if you're like, body weight, you know, that doesn't seem like it's super meaningful. I would challenge anyone who feels like they're an expert in the fitness world and thinks they're super, super strong to hit a set of 20, 30, if you feel like you can do it, of these wall-assisted single leg deadlifts. And let me know how you're feeling afterwards, or better yet, you know, put up a video of yourself doing it. And let's see if it's really high quality, if it looks really great, and if you can do 30 unbroken at a nice, you know, quick rate of contraction. All right, that's enough rest in between sides. 20 quality reps right here. All right, I think better than the right side. What an awesome exercise for hamstrings, glutes, lower back. No resistance needed, so it's not a very dangerous, you know, exercise. I think a lot of people who are looking to prehab and rehab, maybe they've got, you know, uncomfortable issues or just true pain in the lower back. Strengthening and lengthening is a good idea, so maybe you take it a little bit slower, look to stretch a little bit in that position, and maybe you only get 5 to 10 reps at a slower pace, but man, that can be really, really beneficial in my mind. And yeah, I will leave it there. Feeling pretty good for this finisher, and I'll see you on the beautiful 8-round finisher. Okay, time for the finisher. I've got 20 minutes to complete 8 rounds of 12 push-ups, 12 alternating dumbbell snatches, and 12 straight leg sit-ups. And took the shoesies off. This mat is dirty enough as is. It doesn't need my gross shoes on there. And yeah, I will stop procrastinating. Remember, a lot of pressing here. My game plan is to break the push-ups into small sets of 3, not get too fatigued. And you'll see my approach is always to kind of intervalize workouts like this. And what I mean by that is I'm going to move through this at a pace that feels comfortable. I know that I have 2.5 minutes to get all the work done. You know, if it takes me 2 minutes to do it and I don't think 30 seconds is enough to recover in between sets, I probably won't finish the workout, right? But I might say, hey, I'm going to go do a round every 3 minutes and I'll hit the time cap and I'll have better information on where I sit inside of my fitness, you know, where I'm at on the fitness spectrum, so I can take a more realistic approach on the next workouts, if that makes sense. All right. Got my handy dandy countdown. Here's 5 seconds. I'm gonna go this way for space reasons. Now I know I can do more reps than that in a row, but I'm strategizing for the entire workout. Reps get to be a little bit quicker. I'm going for that kind of endurance style, almost aerobic blend. So I don't want to waste time on the eccentric and, you know, get myself overexerted. All right, about 45 seconds to do the push-ups. We'll see where I'm at with this timing. Not terrible, but we'll see. I might get time capped on this one. Not the end of the world. And yes, there's straight leg sit-ups, but I'm bending at the top, obviously. All right, so I only have 10 seconds. If I want to keep everything inside of 2.5 minutes, I only have 10 seconds to rest. That's not, I don't feel good with that. So my game plan is to probably try to get a round every 3 minutes, maybe every 3:15, just to really make sure I can stay super, super consistent. And intervalizing, as I say, gives you that opportunity. So we'll just readjust. Well, this is the adjustment. I figured out where I'm at on set 1. I'm gonna give myself 3 minutes and 15 seconds to do every set, which means I'll get 7, right? Because I'll have that time to rest in between my final set. So I'll get maybe 6+ and possibly 7 rounds. So I'll see you on the final set. You can see if it looks similar to the first set. I think it will. All right, so pretty good workout thus far. Like I said, I'm keeping myself accountable to starting a new round every 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I did some poor head math on the front end after that first round, and said I might get a 7th round. It looks like 6 will be my final round. Still will get me 72 reps per exercise. That's great. And now again, I'm learning. I'm learning about my capacity. Adjusted a few things, so maybe on the front end, if I played with this. Maybe I could have gotten a 7 set, but you can't dwell on that. It's all good. I've got 3 seconds, and I did adjust to 4 push-ups, you know, breaking it up into sets of 4. The set of 12 push-ups. First one always looks pretty confident. Second one seems to be decent. And it's this third one where there's some sticky reps. Okay. Okay, so, you know, I could technically race into the next round. Got about a minute 30 left until I hit the time cap. But, you know, for me, that's just a mindset of like, I gotta squeeze everything in, and that's not where I am, right? Physical health is always the pinnacle. And then, you know, the other part of this 8-week training cycle is lean muscle. But I'm not gonna stay consistent if I'm always thinking about crushing myself. So physical health needs to be top of mind, and then I think whatever your goal is. So hey, I wanna increase my deadlift, you know, in a training cycle or a few training cycles and focus just on your deadlift. Well, you're not gonna be able to do it if you're pushing so hard that you're starting to get, you know, over fatigued. You know, if you're getting shit sleep because you're so overworked. If you need to foam roll for an hour before every session because you're so sore, you're gonna end up dropping off. You say, ah, screw this. So I could do that. I could hammer some more reps, but 72 reps per exercise, really solid, great finisher. You know, the strength work was awesome. 100 reps per leg on the wall assisted deadlifts, 60 reps on those overhead presses on minimal rest inside of a strength, you know, format or strength context, I should say. So right here, all right, I could have gone a little lighter on these if I wanted to move through quicker. All right, lighter on these so I could just jump right into it and kind of speed through them. This took a little bit of, all right, get yourself together. And it's true. It's possible that I could have maybe stuck to every 2 minutes and 45 seconds and for sure gotten the 7 rounds. But I was a little conservative on the front end. If I had gone with the 4 reps, you know, the set of 12 broken into sets of 4, maybe I could have, you know, gone through things a little bit faster, but my body feels really good. That's, you know, of the utmost importance. Again, I'll always like, what am I, some sort of bodybuilder? I don't know, again, how lighting is over here, but I'm feeling pretty solid, and this is only, you know, what is this? This is day 1 of week 2. You know, so day 5 total. You know, I think, you know, I don't want to say already I'm looking more lean, more dense, but the actual workouts themselves, I think, are lending them, you know, the workouts themselves are lending themselves to some really good lean muscle production. So you know, decent little pump. Again, I'm a natural dude, so might not be as intense as some roided out bodybuilders, but there you have it. I think a pretty good session. I will see you on the next one. Peace.